She never saw my payback coming. I work in this tiny little office in Riverside, the kind that never closes and somehow always smells faintly like reheated soup. There's only about a dozen of us physically in the building, and the rest of the staff work off-site. Because we're open 24/7, we rotate shifts, morning, afternoon, night, so someone is always here, half asleep and fueled by questionable coffee. And then there's Lana. Lana has been here for nearly a decade, pushing 40, and her reputation is practically carved into the walls. She does not switch shifts with anyone. Not for a death, not for a flat tire, not for a family crisis, not even for a once-in-a-lifetime event. Nothing. But she has absolutely no problem wandering through the office with her tragic eyes, asking everyone else to take her shift whenever she has plans. Plans meaning brunch, yoga, hair appointments, or whatever else her weekend self requires. People still say yes to her sometimes. I never understood it. Maybe guilt, maybe exhaustion, maybe the power of her sad puppy face. About a year after I started, my younger brother had to get emergency surgery. Actual, terrifying, sudden emergency surgery. I found out the night before my shift and started frantically calling people. When I called Lana, I told her everything, voice shaking, and she just sighed and said, "Sunday is the only day I sleep in. Sorry," and hung up. I missed being there when my brother woke up. I never forgot that. Fast forward to now. Lana got pregnant 7 months ago. Total surprise, and she was not handling it gracefully. She's been horrifically sick the entire pregnancy. She keeps a trash bin right by her desk because sometimes she can't make it to the restroom in time. No one wants to sit next to her, but nobody says it out loud. The office is small, gossip is huge, and HR is one guy named Rick who only shows up on Thursdays. Yesterday I was on the morning shift. Lana was scheduled until 7 p.m. Around 12:30, she goes to our manager asking to leave early because she feels awful. He says she can leave only if someone covers her shift. Pretty standard rule. The only other person there was this guy who had tickets to some festival right after his shift, so he was out. That left me. My shift ended at 3 p.m. I was already mentally on my couch eating leftover pasta. Lana waited until 2:45, 15 minutes before I clocked out, to shuffle over to my desk. She stood there with her big watery eyes, one hand rubbing her belly, and said, "Can you please finish my shift? I'm really not feeling well." I swear, I'd been waiting 3 years for this exact moment. I turned my chair slowly toward her, looked at her face, then at her huge stomach, then back at her face. And in the calmest voice I could manage, I said, "A lack of planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on my part." And then I turned right back to my computer. The silence behind me was delicious. Her mouth literally dropped open. Then it twisted like she had just sniffed spoiled milk. She didn't speak. She didn't argue. She just turned around stiffly and waddled back to her desk. At 3 o'clock exactly, I stood up, slung my bag over my shoulder, and announced loudly, "If anyone needs me, I'll be home taking a nap." Then I walked out feeling like a superhero. Lana ended up staying the rest of her shift. 4 miserable, nauseous hours, with her trash can as her loyal companion. Our boss couldn't force me to stay. That's the rule. She couldn't guilt anyone else into helping either. This morning, everyone, and I mean everyone, knew what happened. A couple people gave me yikes faces, but most were fighting back smirks. Lana hasn't made eye contact with me once. She stares at her monitor like it's going to teleport her to safety if she wills it hard enough. Best part? She hasn't asked a single soul to switch shifts since. Sometimes karma just needs a little scheduling.